Hello, friends and family. It's day 68, cycle 4, day 4. Welcome to my daily blog, where I share my quest to crush aggressive diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, DLBCL, stage 4, ICD code C83.39. And we are using the immunotherapy Rituxan and chemotherapy cocktail EPOC, or EPOC, to crush non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Thank you so much for joining me today on the journey and every day. Okay, special announcement. I'm going to go live on YouTube tomorrow, February 23rd, 2021 at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I'll record it, of course, and post it as long as everything's appropriate. Fingers crossed. To discuss my PET scan results. So I did get the paper copy of the PET scan results. I am recording my video a little earlier than normal, so I have not yet spoken to my doctor about the results. So I'm going to wait to share it with everyone until I talk to the doctor. He usually calls a little bit later in the afternoon, evening, after his office hours. And I don't know if he had hospital or whatever this week. So I'm expecting him to call today. Worst cases, I'll talk to him tomorrow morning, but I know I'll have the doctor's input, plus I have the paper copy, and I want to talk to everybody about the results. Little clue. In my non-medical opinion, it looks a little bit better than the CT scan that I had in November, so let's see what the doctor has to say. Fingers crossed. Also, I have the lab work, which I will talk about in the doctor news later on in the video, but I'll share some screenshots, trending and all that stuff. But the lab work looks pretty good too, in my non-medical opinion. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to start with mental health, HeadSpace, Noodle. So I'm going to start, I think, every day I give this some thought. I know this seems ridiculous to you guys, but I think that where I am today is believe in the power within you. You build, own, use the power within. So I have two quotes for you. One is one of these lovely little cards, which I'll blop up on the screen to block myself while I read it to you. Love yourself. It is important to stay positive because beauty comes from the inside out. Jenn Proske. Not bad. Not exactly where I was going, but I wanted to emphasize inside, right? No matter what's going on here, hopefully my beauty is on the inside. And inspiring folks in my attitude and my positive approach in surviving each day. I'm going to go with that, right? Whether I have hair or not, eyebrows, eyelashes, bloated or not bloated from the prednisone, etc., right? All right, second quote. We are more powerful than we have been led to believe. Walk tall in your power and never give it to an outside source. True authority comes from within. Renee Cefalu. I think I pronounced that right, but it's up here on the screen. And again, same message, right? We have to believe in the power in ourselves. We need to not give it to others. And, build upon that, because using that power from within helps us to conquer without, right? So that's my thought for today, as far as the daily quotes. And I think we'll get into the ta-da list. You will see today's ta-da list is much shorter than usual. I did go to work. I did not accomplish everything that I wanted to do today. I was much slower and had some obstacles and meetings there was a meeting that I didn't know, in any case. Didn't get everything done that I wanted to. I'm a little disappointed there because I know I have limited time before I really feel horrible. Although since I started feeling bad earlier, maybe that means I'm not going to hit that wall, in day 6 or 7 where I just have to shut down. Maybe I'll get a few hours out of those days working. I don't know. I'm going to fly. Right now, I've scheduled off for Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, and Friday because in the prior cycles, those are the times when I just felt like I couldn't process anything beyond rest. But let's see what happens. If I feel like I can do a little bit, maybe I can put in a couple hours on each day. I'm going to roll with it, which I've been doing. And since this cycle doesn't feel exactly like cycle 1, 2, or 3, maybe it's going to be a little different. We'll see how it goes. All right, so I did go to work. Didn't accomplish as much as I wanted, but I hopefully have most of the day tomorrow to make those accomplishments. I dried and put away the sheets and pillowcases and all that stuff. So the second thing on my to-do list from yesterday that I accomplished. We did go to Hoff's appointment. Unfortunately, it was snowing again. He got his labs done with no problem. Unfortunately, the doctor was unable to meet us at the center because he drove his car off the road or slid off, or I don't know exactly the details, but he seems to be okay. And we're going to do a virtual telehealth sometime later in the week. We have to schedule that. So that's all good. And then the changing of the cable modem was the last activity on my to-do from yesterday, and it has not been done yet. Again, I mentioned earlier that I'm a little earlier in my recording than I typically am. And the boys both still have some homework to submit, so we want to get that done before we take the internet offline, just in case we can't get it back up. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen. And then I did just typical stuff, filled the seltzer bottles and all that kind of stuff. Nothing remarkable there. And the boys have asked for pasta and meat sauce for dinner, so I'm going to start that when I get done with this video. Love my Instapot. My plan is to start the dinner in the Instapot and then go work on the cable modem. Fingers crossed that we can get that all done. And then I did try to do charity miles while we were at the doctor's office today, or the dialysis center. Apparently, I was walking slowly because I know not to push my body, and I was pacing for quite a while, and it said I didn't even accumulate 0.1 of a mile, which I don't believe is true based on my Fitbit, but whatever. So it didn't calculate. However, we now have 11 folks on our team, and I can see 10. Thank you. And we've cumulatively done 122 miles. Excellent work, everyone. We went right over 100. Like, we killed it. So great job. I do understand, I don't remember who I saw the comment from, but it's much easier for Apple users than for Droid users. That the Apple, if you have an Apple Watch that connects to your Apple something or other, then it connects to the charity miles, and it's much more seamless, and it's calculating all your movements or any workouts that you calculate with your watch or something like this. So that's kind of good news. Not great news for Droid folk, but good news for the Apple users. Anyway, great news with the charity miles. Thank you, everyone. So that's what I have for to-da. For to-do, tomorrow I have work. I have some robotics calls. I need to finish my chemo, so I have to go to the center for the last bit of chemo. I'll have an anti-anemic, I think a Loxy, and then the last bit of chemo tomorrow. And my bag will come off. I have my last bag on right now. And I need to call the oncologist billing office. I have a bill, but it didn't reflect the payment I made a few weeks ago, and I just want to make sure that that shows up. It just didn't get shown on this particular printout, and then I'll pay that. And that's what I know about. That's what I have absolutely on my to-do list. We'll see if there's anything I can add on later. But, I'm going to take in baby steps because I just don't know what my body's going to do. All right. Now we have some angel deliveries. Thank you so much. I got some lovely cards with well wishes, so thank you for those lovely cards. And I got a box of yummy goodies from Jeans and Boots Candy. And they look quite yummy, and I've actually snuck a few. And they look like they were for Valentine's. Like I got a Valentine's red milk chocolate hearts and so forth. Not sure how long they were in the mailbox is what I'm going to say. Because my boys are slackers because I thought they were getting the mail, but apparently not. That's all I can say right there. Hello. Luckily, we haven't had really, it's been pretty cold here in the Northeast, so all that chocolate was just fine in the cold mailbox. Probably better than in the warm house, just saying. So, but thank you so much. That was very yummy and a nice treat. What else do I have? So that is what I have for angel deliveries. Thank you all so much. And that's all I have for story time today. So as a reminder, tomorrow I probably won't post like a regular video, but I will have an 8 p.m. Eastern on February 23rd, 2021 live YouTube broadcast where I will tell you about my PET scan results and my status and all of my usual blah, blah, blah. And it will be open to questions. So assuming I can do it, fingers crossed, you can interact with me on the screen and ask questions directly, and I can hopefully give you answers. If I don't have answers, I'll have to give them to you in the next video. So we'll see how that rides, and if people like that, we can do that fairly regularly. I figured it would be a good way to talk about the results, so in case people had any questions, they could ask them right away, live. All right, that's what I have for you. So thank you so much for joining me today if you just came for story time, and we will see you tomorrow at the live. Oh, one more thing. I'm going to put some directions right here, hopefully. So in order for you to be notified that the live is coming up, you need to be subscribed to the channel and get all notifications. So let me show you. This is what it looks like unsubscribed. Okay, and then you just click on it, and now you're subscribed. See the difference? Okay, and now once you're subscribed, there's this little bell here. When I click on the bell, I get some options, and this option says all notifications, and then that will let you know when I go live. Thank you to the very experienced live person that gave us that data so I could share it with you. All right, so that's what I know. And we're going to get into status now. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you tomorrow. Status, eating. Still, the nausea is real. I did take the anti-nausea medicine last night before bed, and I'll probably do it again tonight. I have not taken the medication during the day. I've been able to just about keep it at bay most of the day with my eating. So fingers crossed that I can continue to do that. Mouth pain, a bit. No teeth pain, no throat pain yet. So thumbs up. I am doing the Magic mouthwash at least once a day. My weight is up. Here's a picture. I'm not really worried about it. I think this is the prednisone and the water retention and everything. But we'll see in a few days if it comes down. We'll know by the end of the week. Just going to roll with it. Nothing I can do at this point. And I guess having a little more meat on my bones is better than not meat from a fighting and surviving kind of perspective. So I'm just going to roll with it. My fluid in and out made me very happy today. Nearly identical. I did change the way I was recording it, and I think that made a difference. So let's see how it rides. So yesterday, I drank 66 ounces, and I had 14 ounces by IV, which is equal to 2,365 cc's, mLs, however you want to record it, mLs. My out was 2,350 mLs, and that's kind of an approximation. It's not as exact because, you know, I'm reading the little lines on the thing. So it could have even been 2360 for all I know, but that was my guesstimate based on, you know, looking at the lines and so forth. So I'm calling that even. I'm pretty happy with that. I did have night sweats again, which I'll mention in a little bit. So that also, even if it's off by, 15, that's nothing compared to how much I sweat, believe me. So that was all great news on the ins and outs. That made me very happy. Yay! All right, the neuropathy seems better managed today. I'm not sure why. I did use the cream. I'm taking it. My hair loss is status quo, I believe. No nose clots. Yes, on the night sweats. Headache, no. Fatigue, no, but I did hit a window, wall, whatever. Not 3 p.m., more like 4 p.m. So 4 to 4:30. I think that it was a lot to work. Plus we drove to the doctors and I had to drive in the snow and it was a little more exertion. So I did take my prednisone early, at the 4:30 time frame. So I'm hoping that means that I will be able to sleep tonight, fingers crossed, without too much interruption. I did have, the red skin is real. I can see it even through my sunscreen and everything. Brain, not sure it's great, but it's not horrible. I'm going to go with that. The skin seems to be status quo again, so I'm not sure what I did different, but it feels not quite as scaly and yucky, so. I did recently read a thing about oiling, like how you wash your face with oil, and I'm thinking maybe I might try one of those rides, maybe on one of my days off, do an oil and see how that helps or doesn't help. Because I feel like my skin, even my scalp is a little itchy and flaky, which I typically have an issue in the winter time with just the dryness of my skin because of the sensitivity and the flu, all that stuff. But I am drinking a lot. All right, let's keep going. Sorry, I digress. All right, sleep. Sleep was good. I had 7 hours and 38 minutes last night. No naps. Movement was also good. 8,500 steps, which pretty remarkable, I think, given my slow pace. My vitals were fine, a little on the high side when Nurse Lana came, but not horrible, all within the normal range. No fever. Nurse Lana checked, and I was checked at the dialysis center because they won't let you in. So Nurse Lana came today again, changed my poison bag and the dressing on my arm, which was really starting to itch, so I'm hoping that will help with the itch. Otherwise, I'm going to be taking some Benadryl soon. Let's see. I already mentioned I'm waiting to talk to my doctor on the PET scan. I did get the printout, like it's posted to the portal. So I expect him to call tonight or in the morning because he's pretty good with that stuff. What else? So I already mentioned that I'm going to be going in tomorrow in my to-do list to the office to get my last bag of chemo, the Cytoxan, which is very damaging to the bladder and the kidneys. So I'm going to have to force myself to get lots of fluid and prevent any vomiting. Fingers crossed. And then let's talk labs. So I'm going to shift over so you guys can see the pictures. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I think I figured out in the editing that I could do this without you seeing me in the background. So why don't we do it this way? And then I could just flash them up on the screen for you. All right, so the first one, I'll keep talking, is calcium. And you can see here in the picture that it looking pretty good. I'm in the normal range, 9.5 or 6. I'm not looking at the numbers right now, but I thought it was right in the normal. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. So that's a good indicator. Here, I don't know if I can get them all up on the screen, but I'll flash them through. The liver enzymes, AST, ALT, and ALK-Phos, a little too fast. So AST, ALT, and ALK-Phos. These all are indicators of liver function. And you can see they've all come down since November, well into normal range. And you can see how elevated that some of them were previously. So that's also a good indicator. Now let me go back to, I'm not a medical professional. This is just my opinion. Now the last time we looked at some of these numbers, even last month when they were coming down, the doctor did confirm that those are all good signs. Okay, here's another one. The LDH. This is a big one. This is the cancer marker or cancer indicator for the volume of organs that are engaged in the cancer. Like how hard is your body being, what's the word I'm looking for? Distressed. How hard is the body being distressed? And it usually, when it's super high, which you can see I started at, multiple organs are engaged. So we know when I started that my liver was engaged, the lymph nodes near my liver, and my spleen. In addition, just my abdominal lining and swelling and extra fluid and all kinds of stuff was going on in the belly. And so we knew about those organs plus the peripheral impact of at that time we didn't know what it was. Now we know it's lymphoma. So the fact that the LDH has come down and now is well within normal, right? The last time we looked at LDH, it was just a smidge out of normal, which was still very encouraging. Now it's in and seems to be definitely trending in the right direction. I'll just make that comment. But these are good indicators. Makes me hopeful for the PET scan results and full course of treatment. I assume, based on my conversations and how well I know my doc, that we're going to do 6 treatments, so 6 cycles. So I've done 4. Tomorrow will be the end of the poisoning segment for cycle 4. And then I'll have the 2 weeks to try and heal and refocus my energy. And then we go into cycle 5, which I think starts March 12th, if my calendar math is right. I think that's right. And my brain is right, because I looked it up today. I think it's March 12th. But you guys, the last one was, 4 days ago, right? Okay, let's keep going. The last one that I had some concern about were my bun creatinine, which is a measure of the kidney function. And it's the bun by itself looked good, and the creatinine by itself looked pretty good. The numbers, I'm not sharing them here. But when you look at the bun creatinine, you could see that it's come down. The last time we did the test, it was at the very top end of normal. And now it's come down a few points, 2.5, 2.7 or something, which is very encouraging to me. Which means my in and out tracking and all the fluid I've been forcing myself to drink are making a difference in flushing this crud out of my body and not damaging my organs as much as it could be. So that makes me happy. All right, so what else can I tell you about? I think that is all that I had. Let's make sure I'm not forgetting something. All my status, doctor, a lot of doctor stuff today, even though I didn't talk about the PET scan too much. We'll talk about that tomorrow. So again, I would like to thank you all for coming today and supporting me and staying to the end. I love you. Remember, every day is a gift. Live it. And I will see you tomorrow on my live, I hope. Please join me. 8 p.m. Eastern on February 23rd, 2021.